I'm Kate Willinger here with the Roundtable, and I'm here with.
Mr. Joano.
And what do you teach here at Stanford High?
I'm in the CTE department here on the second floor. I teach business math, sports marketing, and information technologies and design.
Since you were a student here yourself, what's the biggest difference you see at school now versus when you went here?
Biggest difference? They don't sell bagels and hot fries at FBLA anymore, which I'm heartbroken about.
Did you ever see yourself working here as a student?
No, I didn't. Actually, when I left here and I went off to college, I finished, started working in corporate, and then I came back to teach and ended up working here.
And are there any teachers that worked here when you went here that still currently work here?
Yes, there are plenty. There's a lot of familiar faces. But one specific one that I work right across the hall from is Mr. Stone. I had him for public speaking, so I think he did a really good job at that.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm here with.
Jamar Green, Dean of Students, Stanford High School.
What's the biggest difference that you see at Stanford High today working here versus when you were a student?
Well, the big difference for me is now I'm in a leadership role. As a student, I was told, go to class, do your job. And now I'm in a role where I'm telling others the same thing.
What teachers did you have that worked here that still work here?
I had Miss Rich in Spanish, and I think she's the only current one that I actually had a class with. But Mr. Cardillo was here as well when I was attending.
What was your favorite part of your high school experience?
Meeting friends, building relationships, senior prom. We also took some field trips. We did a great adventure field trip. I used to love DECA. And at that point, we had what was called an early release where we can leave school around 11 o'clock during the day and go work. And I was working at Macy's, and I remember working with some of my friends from school, and that was probably the biggest memory there. It's just having fun, building relationships, and meeting new people.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Meagan with the Roundtable, and I'm here with
Matt Forker, principal of Stanford High School.
And I'm here to ask you, what was your favorite experience at Stanford High as a student?
Okay, so my favorite experience in looking back, I probably was, well, there's a few things. Playing sports for Stanford High from my freshman year to my senior year was a great experience. But I think my senior year, when our basketball team was making the run they made during their state championship season, that was fun because the games were a lot of fun. The gym was packed, and it was just a great atmosphere. So every Wednesday and Saturday night, or Wednesday, Friday night, they had games. I had games on Saturday nights, maybe Wednesday, Saturdays. Anyway, we were always able to go. So that was a cool experience that year because the whole school was involved. It was a lot of fun for us.
Did you ever see yourself working here at Stanford High, let alone being the principal?
Okay, so I think in retrospect, yes. I think my path to being a teacher, I felt like I was going to be a teacher, when I was finishing up college and then ultimately graduating and thinking about what I wanted to do next. You don't really think about being the principal, to be perfectly honest. I think you just kind of follow the path that you are on. So whether that's being a teacher, I was a coach for many years, and then I made the move to becoming an administrator. So you don't really think of that too far ahead, although it does in terms of what you want to do. But I was really happy doing all the jobs I've done here over the years. So this is just the next one, and I'm happy doing it. And I'm having a real good time doing it.
Were there any classmates that you had while attending Stanford High that are now your coworkers?
Yes. So Mrs. Gillen in English was a year older than me. Mr. Escobar, current assistant principal, was a year older than me. I'm the young one here at Stanford High. Trying to think who Mr. Gladstone went here. He was my brother's year. And then we've got some other folks that came a little bit further after me. But yeah, so there's a lot of folks that go here that I went to school with that currently now work here.
Did you have any teachers that are still staff members here at Stanford High?
There are two that I definitely know of that were here when I was here. I don't know, am I naming them? You want me to name them? Okay, all right. So Mr. Cardillo is still here. He was here when I was here, and Mrs. Rich is still here, and she was here. I think she maybe had just started when I was either a junior or senior, but I think she was here maybe a year or two. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her, but I'm not sure. But she's still here as well.
You're here with.
Rafael Escobar, assistant principal.
What was your favorite experience being a student here at Stanford High?
A lot to remember. I loved going to sporting events, hanging out with friends. Just the relationships that I built throughout my 4 years at Stanford High. Some of those are relationships that I still hold on to. In fact, I had my 30-year reunion a few weeks back. It was great seeing a lot of friends that I made during high school.
Did you ever see yourself being an administrator for Stanford High while being a student?
That would be a solid no. No, I came in not really knowing what I wanted to do, as many students who come into Stanford High. I wasn't the kind of person that had my life planned out. I am super happy that I was able to come back.
Did you have any coworkers or teachers that are currently your coworkers?
Yeah, Miss Pucci, biology, she was Miss Rutsky at the time, was one of my favorite teachers. And Mr. Forker and I go way back to Little League. So Mr. Forker was a classmate of mine as well.
And I'm here with.
Rich Frederoli.
What is your position here at Stanford High?
I'm a math teacher.
What is your favorite experience from being a student here at Stanford High?
When I was a student, probably all the sporting events. The hockey games were always a lot of fun. I always had fun at those, football games, things like that.
Did you have any classmates that are now your coworkers here?
Yeah, we have a few. From my class, I have John Ringel, Miss DeAngelis, Miss Hatzel. That I graduated with 3 of them. There are others that I went to school with that weren't the same grade, but close, like Miss Forker. I know she was there, a grade below me.
Did you have any teachers that are still staff members here at Stanford High?
So yeah, I had Del Judas my freshman year, and I think my junior year I had him twice. Mr. Cardillo was still here. I never had him though. I believe one of my science teachers that goes under a different name now that I don't know what that is. But there's a few of them.
What's the biggest difference at Stanford High from when you were a student versus when you're a teacher?
That's a good question. I guess coming back, just being on the other side, it just totally flipped on you, in a sense. It's kind of all the rules that you saw as dumb, you see why that they're there, which kids still don't listen to. We didn't back then either. But, yeah, I don't know. Other than the new building, everything's pretty similar.
Okay, great. Thank you. And I'm here with.
Mr. Buzzio.
And I'm here to ask you, what's your position here at Stanford High?
I'm a social studies teacher here.
Did you ever think of becoming a teacher here while you were at Stanford High?
Yeah, I actually won most likely to come back as a teacher. That was my superlative, so I did think of coming back.
Being a teacher here, did you have any teachers that are currently still here?
Yeah, Burns was her first year teaching my senior year. I had Miss Frazier, Mr. Barnett. There's a bunch of people that are still here. I only graduated 10 years ago, so good amount of staff.
How would you compare your high school experience as a student to a teacher?
A lot more yelling as a teacher. Just more caring about where kids are and when they're supposed to be in their classes and whatnot. As a student, you're kind of roaming the halls anyways.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'm here with.
Mr. Ortiz.
And what's your position here at Stanford High School?
I'm one of the guidance counselors.
So you went to West Hill, and we're curious to know, how is it different, like, working at the rival school?
Sure. So, for me personally, I went to West Hill, obviously, and I might have been a little bit of a knucklehead. Gave some teachers some headaches. So it's good to stay in Stanford, work within Stanford Public Schools, and at the high school level like I wanted to, and just start fresh here at Stanford High. It's a little different, obviously, just because different part of town, but I got to be honest, it's very similar in many ways, demographic-wise and classes-wise, sports-wise, very, very similar to West Hill. So there's obviously some similarities and some differences.
Would you ever see yourself working at the rival school?
At the did I ever see myself
Yeah.
working at the? I gotta be honest, I did not. I mean, I thought I was a purple knight, and sorry, a purple. No, a Viking. But no, I'm Black Knight, full on Black Knight now, and so I coach here, and yeah, it feels good.
Thank you.